Cool. Let's see if we can get this broadcast up on YouTube. Let's check it. Okay, looks like we're good to go. So, hey guys, it's Luke bringing you guys a live stream for our Saturday Showdown picks for the BMW Championship. In this video, we're going to go over the player pool, some of the guys that stand out in terms of pricing, guys I think they're going to really fit the bill for this weekend. We did just have a little bit of a shower in the area at Caves Valley. So as a result, it's going to be even softer going into this weekend. I'm going to play even longer, and we're going to see lots of scoring like we saw on Thursday and Friday. But hopping right into the player pool, let me go ahead and share my screen here so we can get into that right here. Cool. So here we go. Here's the player pool for tomorrow, guys. Obviously, very similar pricing to what we saw in the rest of the week. Minor tweaks here and there. John Rahm's still the highest priced golfer out there, killing it right now. I believe in third place, about to be in second place. Obviously, not a bad play in Showdown. Somebody that can go 6, 8 under. We saw it in day one. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out and does it on Saturday or Sunday as well. Where I really like to spend money, though, Bryson DeChambeau, obviously off that 60, near 59. Don't hate him as a play there. Obviously, his length is giving him a lot of advantages at Caves Valley. Also, his rolling his rock, top 5 in shots gained putting. You have Rory Mcilroy there, a little bit more volatile. I'm a little bit less confident in him rather than Bryson, just because the ball striking hasn't quite been as immaculate as usual. Still gaining strokes from tee to green, very solidly in every category. Just prefer Bryson a little bit more. But if I had a second option, would definitely be McIlroy. A couple of the options here that I have marked as nose, these guys just don't have much distance. Again, it was already playing long. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast. We just had some on the course. That's why we had that delay along with some thunder. So these guys that lack some length, obviously Morikawa with the injury, I'm not necessarily looking to go to those guys right now. If we go down to this tier right here, I love Finau and Koepka still. Koepka has a little bit of a bounce back round today. Still hasn't really caught fire with the putter. So the tee to green metrics have been there. So if Brooks goes out, gains a few strokes putting on a day, he's going to post a really low score. So I've been playing him every day in Showdown as a result. Tony Finau, again, not the best putting stats today or anything like that, but I like them for similar reasons. Also really like the price point at $8,800 and $8,700 respectively. We're getting to a huge fade here with Patrick Cantley, somebody I've played in my round, 4-round things. I played him today in Showdown as well. But at $8,400, he's a fade. He's going to be mega chalk. You're going to see him owned 30, maybe 40% of the time for these contests. And he's gained 11 strokes putting over these last 2 rounds. Completely unsustainable. His tee to green metrics have actually been negative. So I look for a lot of regression from Cantley. I do like Matsuyama, though, has been a beast from tee to green, actually losing strokes putting. So he's actually been gaining from here to there, popping in a few rounds. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw a low one from Hideki, just given how good that ball striking is. I don't hate English. Couldn't putt today, which we don't usually say about Harris English. Typically a very strong putter. Lost 2 strokes putting today, or nearly 2 strokes. Webb Simpson's been a fade all week. Again, not really a long player. He's going to have to be ultra precise to get it done. And it's just a little bit of a narrow path to victory. Narrower than I'm willing to take at the very least. Sergio, so just like Patrick Cantley, is getting way too many strokes for my liking. He's currently top 10 in shots gained putting. And you guys know Sergio Garcia is a horrible putter. Even if he's found something, when we saw him win at the Sanderson Farms, he lost strokes putting in Sunday, nearly lost strokes on Saturday as well. So when he finds it, he doesn't find it for an entire tournament. If he's going to win, if he's going to contend the rest of the time out, it's going to be with his ball striking. But I don't expect another 7, 8 under round or anything like that. Go to Joaquin Niemann. Had a really bad day today. I believe he's even as of right now. I need to look into the advanced metrics a little bit more, but seemingly has a great skill set fit for this course. He's down at $7,800 now, so you're getting a lot of salary relief. I don't hate him as a play at all. I think he could be a very big bounce back candidate. Scotty Shuffler, we saw the bounce back today. So obviously this pricing came out before he finished his round. Currently 6 under par, might even have a chance to take it to 7 or 8 under par. Love the skill set fit. Again, is one of the best off the tee players on the tour. Also one of the longer players on tour. Also very high birdie or better percentage player. So Scotty Shuffler, $7,600. I don't hate at all. Got my podcast juice, guys, by the way. It's a Friday, so hopefully you guys are enjoying your Fridays. We're getting in some Showdown picks right now. So continuing with the player pool. Let's go to Cameron Tringale. So $7,600. I just don't like the length. Again, he's played horrible to this point. So why is he priced at $7,600? We're going to get to a few guys here that are playing well or in form, are near the top of the leaderboard. So I don't really get the pricing on Cameron Tringale. One thing I will say, he's going to be ultra low owned. So if you're looking for a pivot, not a bad move right there. If we take a look at Jason Kokrak, so somebody who's definitely a lottery ticket, somebody who I didn't think was going to fit the course at the beginning of the week. But now that it's shifted to a little bit more bombers, a little bit more birdie or better percentage, I think Jason Kokrak's very live to go out and shoot 6 or 7 under in a very in a round. He profiles very similarly to Bryson DeChambeau. Obviously, Bryson, one of the best off the tee players in the world. With Bryson DeChambeau, you also get the putter. And with Jason Kokrak, you have that same lethal combination. So if Bryson went out and shot 60, maybe Kokrak goes down and shoots 64 tomorrow or something like that. I think that's within the realm of possibilities. Phil Mickelson, I played him in Showdown today. He was my lock play. Truth be told, he could go out birdie a few holes coming down here. I'm keeping an eye on the broadcast to the left. I think it's just the highlights right now. They stopped the national broadcast. But Phil Mickelson's still on the course. Again, was super cheap yesterday in Showdown. But now that he's $7,300, even if he's going to be super aggressive, even if he's likely to get a ton of birdies, that's just a little bit too much of a price hike for me. So I'm probably going to avoid him. Kisner and Na are fades just because of their length disadvantage. I mean, obviously, some of the shorter players on tour there. Same thing with Horschel. I do like Munoz, though. We saw him shoot a very nice round to start the day today. I'm a highly volatile player, somebody that can go out, shoot 8, 9 under any day. Munoz is pretty much always going to be a Showdown pick for that reason. Mackenzie Hughes, somebody who's a short game specialist. Not really looking for Mackenzie Hughes in my Showdown. He's better at harder golf courses, more like an Open Championship, US Open. Again, we've seen him contend at those venues. Going down to this range right here, I really, really like Russell Henley. So Russell Henley, say even $7,000, he's lost over 2 strokes putting to this point, which Russell Henley is not typical. He's typically one of the top 25 putters on tour, somebody who's been really decent. Also, we'll say decent. I was going to say really good, but truth be told, just gaining a stroke or two with his ball striking, he's used to gaining even more than that as well. So I look for a rebound from Russell Henley. He really needs a strong performance, has a lot of motivation to do so to make sure he gets to East Lake. Getting on the Johnny Vegas, bomber of the golf ball. Again, you've seen that I like a lot of bombers in this player pool. So no surprise there. I like Vegas. Hudson Swafford has gained 8 strokes putting, somebody who's typically not a very good putter on tour. So again, we're expecting a lot of regression, perhaps even a meltdown there. I don't like Gooch's length, truth be told. Somebody who averages just about 295 yards off the tee. Hasn't really done that well so far, so doesn't really have any signs going for him. Guys, Maverick Mcneilly did not look good today. Somebody who was driving the golf ball really well, even putting well. Lost half a stroke putting today because he missed a few 3-footers, but his irons were atrocious. Lost 2 strokes with his approaches today, so not really looking for Maverick McNeely tomorrow. That was very concerning. He was a pick of mine to begin the week. Obviously, unless he has some huge rebound weekend, he's not going to pull through. But I'm not going to bet on that. He hasn't looked good so far. I'll be pleasantly surprised if he does, though. Cameron Davis and Keith Mitchell, we're going to group these guys together. They're the same price. They project very similarly, to be honest with you. Both bombers of the golf ball, both people that can get hot with the putter as well. Keith Mitchell made 7 birdies a couple weeks ago at the 3M Open. A couple weeks after that as well, at Memphis, made a bunch of birdies to get into this event. So I do like Keith Mitchell this week. Cameron Davis for the same reason. Very volatile players that put up a ton of birdies. You can see I have a lot of fades down here. The guys I have in white, if you're playing 150 lineups, sprinkle them in. I don't have interest in Harry Higgs, though. Don't have interest in Kirk, Jones, or Streb. The rest of those guys there, sprinkle them in if you wanted to. But if you're playing just like 2 or 3 lineups, just one single entry lineup, they're not making my lineups at all. But my favorite play is Aaron Wise. It's a complete misprice. He's gained 3 strokes putting to this point. He's actually lost strokes off the tee. If you guys know Aaron Wise, that's pretty much the flip-flop of what we'd expect. Somebody who's one of the best ball strikers on tour, typically bleeds strokes on the green. Now that he's gone to the broomstick putter, he showed a little bit of promise last week, made a few more putts than he's used to, but this week he's gaining with the putter. So if he comes around with the driver, like we're used to seeing 99% of the time, he's been hitting his irons well, despite the off-the-tee play. He's going to go nuclear this weekend. I mean, he's already in contention at 9 under. Could go out and really assert himself in contention. So really like Aaron Wise as a value pick. Yesterday it was Phil Mickelson. I was squeezing into every lineup essentially to give myself all the salary I needed for the rest of my positions. Tomorrow it's going to be Aaron Wise. I'm going to have a few lineups where I sprinkle in Cameron Davis and Keith Mitchell. Again, they just have that high upside. You never really see it coming when they're going to go shoot 7 or 8 under, but it happens pretty reliably once a month. So I'm going to sprinkle them in as well. My favorite play up top, again, Bryson DeChambeau. I think the price tag for Rahm's just a little bit too high. Again, if you stick in that 9K range, stick in the 8K range, you can fit 3 or even 4 of them in the same lineup. And again, I love Aaron Wise and those $260, $500 guys down low. So we'll get to Chris Stouse's question here, guys. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. We're only going to be doing this for a couple more minutes here. My Steelers are playing at 7:30, so got to make sure I can catch those. So Chris says, if you're doing a 3-max entry, who would you want for your core? So let's go to the player pool. Let's take a look. So we're talking about a core, and we're doing a 3-max entry. I'm probably going to take a group of 4 players, and I'm going to make sure that I have at least 3 of them in all 3 lineups. So that's usually how I make my core. So let's pick 4 of my favorite players. And usually I make sure that those core players are up top, right? We'd rather swap down low with those highly volatile players, the guys we don't really have as confident of a take on. But up top, Bryson would be number 1, right? Again, he's my favorite play on this slate tomorrow. Number 2, I would say Hideki, right? So Hideki's only $8,300. So I really like the price tag there. So I like him as a core member. For our next one, let's say Rory Mcilroy, right? So he's only $9,500. So you could use Rory and DeChambeau in lineups, but again, you don't have to in all 4. It's going to be together in 3. But you can definitely use them together. And then for 4th, let's go with Brooks, right? So again, Brooks hasn't shown much of late, so I expect him to still remain relatively unowned. But at $8,700, he's a great value. Obviously, a great ball striker. Gets hot with the putter. We've seen him shoot 8 or 9 under par. Shot a 60 before the playoffs. So don't hate Brooks Koepka there, Chris. See any other questions? All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to be watching the Steeler game, so I'll obviously see the notifications and whatnot. But until next time, we're going to do a live stream at the same time tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. So obviously you have a little bit more heads up this time, so you're not last second, scrambling to find this stream. But yeah, same time tomorrow, 7:15. We're going to be covering the Sunday Showdown picks. Again, on Sunday, the finishing position gets added into the equation. So the analysis is going to be a little bit more detailed. We're going to go into the finishing position points to start the day. We're going to expect people to finish. And some of the people I think that could really race up the board, because in Sunday Showdown, it's all about picking those guys that shoot 7 or 8 under on Sunday. So until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow.